I think the term back office has connotations that are far too limiting when used to describe the systems that support a manager's trading strategies, especially when you consider that the vast majority of managers are small operations in terms of the number of people. In reality, the systems that perform the functions typically referred to as front, middle, and back office are significantly more effective when they operate as a single integrated unit. When this occurs, the manager has in place a strategic asset, enabling activities and options previously unavailable to him. As part of my role at DMAXX, I'm responsible for product direction. In addition to reaching out to existing and prospective customers to identify new or enhanced features to add to our system, I also try to determine what is important to my customers' customers, since they will be driving what my customers will need to be successful in the future. As part of that research, I came across a study by KPMG titled The Future of Alternative Investments. In it, they surveyed 200 market participants between February and June of 2010. They surveyed managers, administrators, and investors from 26 countries. What they found was that 7 out of 10 investors planned on reducing their investments in fund-to-funds, and 9 out of 10 planned on increasing or retaining their investments in managed accounts. Greater transparency, liquidity, and the operational advantages that managed accounts bring are some of the reasons cited. However, one drawback that was identified was that managed accounts do not provide access to all managers or strategies. In addition, 8 out of 10 reported transparency as a major issue moving forward. 7 out of 10 reported regulation and governance as being a major concern. But surprisingly, operational risk was tied with investment performance, with 44% of the respondents indicating that this was a major concern. What this means is that operational risk is as important as an investment returns to 44% of the investors surveyed. In addition, managers recognize that there is a new operating paradigm where enhanced governance, greater transparency, more liquidity, increased costs, and a shift towards a more client-centric culture has changed the relationship between the investor and the manager. Finally, only 2 in 5 managers are operating at or near full capacity, and it's not surprising that those 2 in 5 managers are the large multi-billion-dollar funds. So what does this mean to you? There are plenty of managers with capacity. Transparency, control, and low operational risks are key factors for investors. And what I like to call managed accounts on steroids are going to be more commonplace moving forward. Traditionally, managed accounts were the standard for transparency since the investor received a broker statement every day. Today, that is not enough. Many investors want the information digested and packaged for them into a way that is more suitable to their needs and provides a better indication of how the strategy is performing. Institutional managed accounts bring with them 3 interrelated sets of issues: multiple relationships, trading complexities, and customized reporting. Let's look at what multiple relationships mean. Per deal fee structures, including management, incentive, and trading commissions, are the norm. Multiple clearing brokers, multiple administrators, frequent additions and withdrawals, and rigorous operational due diligence are also commonplace. Robust operating systems, with their foundations rooted in position management, should be the core of any manager's operating environment. These systems provide position management options such as the handling of multiple trading systems, offsetting controls including the auto-generation of expiration trades, and instrument type independence, including support for variable tick markets and things like the ICE OTC energy markets. Rather than use trading commissions from broker statements, these types of systems provide the ability for the manager to define what his trading commissions are and calculates them as the trading occurs. This has several advantages. The information required for top day valuations is readily available, a check and balance with what the accounts are actually being charged by the brokers is possible, and providing trading commissions within the end-of-day trade files is now an option. One of the main drivers for an advisor to investigate solutions such as these is the multi-broker reconciliation component. It is not an understatement to say that as the number of accounts go up, your reconciliation effort grows exponentially. Systems that automatically obtain brokerage statements and convert them to the manager's data standard and then present the differences can save many man-hours per day and be significantly more accurate at identifying discrepancies. Performance fee calculations, with the ability to implement per-account basis formulas, hurdle rates, and tiers, allows the manager to negotiate any deal without having to resort to special handling of the fee calculations. In addition, these fees should be accrued on a daily basis, so all intra-month performance reporting is accurate. A side effect is that the manager always knows what fees they have earned to date. All these result in the ability to deliver daily or intraday NAV calculations. While I know most of you believe that this is worthless, what if your trading models need to know the current equity levels in order to perform trade sizing? Also, I know that there is more than one of you out there that wants to know how you're doing throughout the day. If all aspects of your operation are not incorporated into the calculations, you're not getting the complete picture. Finally, robust systems provide customizable reporting and analysis. Whether it is for research, marketing, or risk management purposes, the ability to analyze the data collected by your operating system in both a standard as well as an ad hoc basis is a real benefit for any organization. Often overlooked is the operating system's impact on a firm's ability to manage risk. By their very nature, these types of systems institute processes on an operation, reducing the effects of the reliance on specific individuals. Because the information maintained by these systems is centrally stored, establishing disaster recovery sites is simplified, since it is a simple matter of replicating the database and the software at an alternate location. Investments in systems such as these demonstrate the firm's commitment to their business, reducing the perceived risk that an investor might have regarding the viability of a manager. While many managers I have met do not place a lot of value in value at risk, for many investors, it is a unifying way to look at risk across their portfolio. The fact that a manager has the capability to perform value at risk analysis can only serve to further convey that their operation represents a lower risk than others. An additional aspect of risk management that an operating system can provide is historic simulation. This allows the manager to identify events in the past, such as market shocks, and explore the behavior of his portfolio if the markets react in a similar manner. Likewise, it is possible to overlay hypothetical results against actual trading history to help ensure that what the models predict is actually occurring. Finally, all of this results in an easier time of it when the operations portion of a due diligence is addressed. So what is the impact of having a robust operating system? You have daily NAV. Your processes support the people, ensuring operational stability. Checks and balances are built into the operation. And performance attribution and risk reporting are available on a daily or better basis. The second set of issues with institutional managed accounts revolve around trading complexities. These include trade sizing across multiple accounts, block trades and price allocation, order routing and trade capture, and multi-broker allocation issues. An integrated order management system that integrates order execution, order planning, and the back office is one way to address these types of issues. Order sizing is one of the key issues we see with managers. Sizing trades when there are multiple accounts of wide-ranging trading levels can be a real headache without the proper tools. Typically, contracts per million of trading size is used. However, for managers that ladder into and out of positions, this can result in the small accounts being routed out of the entire trade unless care is taken to ensure that the accounts are included when the appropriate leverage level is reached. This is where the target level approach comes in. This method looks at the account's existing positions and determines the trade size based on how many each account needs to get in order to be at the target level of contracts per million if the trade is fully filled. Without the order management system being integrated with the back office, this is not feasible. As the number of accounts increase, the number of clearing brokers also typically increases as well. Depending on the manager's size, he may or may not be able to establish give-up agreements. If not, trades must be routed to the brokers that are also clearing the trades. There may also be compelling reasons to split execution across multiple platforms. In either case, the ability to route trades to multiple platforms and/or brokers is something we are seeing more frequently. In some environments, the trader's preferred operating mode is to trade directly from screens. Without some type of integration, either with the platform, the broker, or exchange, these trades must be manually recorded into some system. Fixed drop connections allow these trades to be automatically captured by the order management system and assigned to the appropriate block of accounts. Once the trade has been filled, the existence of multiple accounts necessitates the needs for fill allocation. APSing every trade is no longer the solution it used to be, now that the clearing brokers have inconsistent treatments of APS trades. You now have the situation where a single block trade can have some accounts filled at the weighted average fill price, while others getting filled at the rounded exchange price and receiving a cash adjustment simply because where they clear. Also, as trade sizes get larger, the opportunity for trades to not get completely filled increases. Typically, the unfilled portion of the trade must be executed during the next session, while the filled portion must be allocated given the fills received. Without systems in place that understand these types of complexities, the amount of labor required to operate, and more importantly, the likelihood for errors, increases significantly. Regardless of the processes, the completed trades are automatically passed to the back office systems to feed reconciliation, position management, and the other accounting and reporting functions. So what's the impact of having an integrated order management system? You demonstrate you are serious about managing trade risk. You have an active approach to handling performance drift. You minimize data errors by automating trade execution, trade capture, and trade reporting. And you become broker neutral with respect to execution and clearing. The final set of issues that institutional managed accounts bring with them is customized reporting. These include give-up and end-of-day trade reporting, reports to investors and administrators, daily performance in NAV, and risk reporting. We at DMAXX have a concept we call customized transparency. This refers to the reports and data in the format, using the delivery method, with the frequency that the investor or counterparty needs. The typical reporting requirements for these types of systems revolve around 4 types of information. The first are the daily trade files. These typically require a specific format for each destination and often require a symbology that is different than used by the manager. Also, many administrators are now requiring charged commissions to be included in the file. Frequently, these files also require cancel, correct, and amend processing. End-of-day positions are now being requested on an increasing basis. These also typically require a specific format in symbology, and often the settlement prices for the positions are requested as well. NAV and attribution reporting is commonplace. Daily 13-column performance reports, sector attribution, and market attribution reports are frequently requested. These could be in Excel spreadsheets, Word documents, PDF documents, or simply data files. This is all up to the receiver of the data. And finally, risk reports, including margin to equity, value at risk, and exposure, are frequently requested as well. Regardless of the types of information being sent, they are often sent as either email, FTP, secure FTP, possibly encrypted, sometimes not, all of which up to what the destination or the receiver of the information requires. So what's the impact of being able to provide customized transparency? You can be counted on to provide the data your customers need. You take your customers' processes seriously. You understand that you are part of a larger strategy. And you can provide reports such as returns attribution by instrument. In this example, we have the instruments along the left, and across the top we have the months of the prior year. The intersection provides a compounded rate of return for what the instrument delivered during that month. Another example is performance metrics. In this example, we have a monthly rate of return against a risk-free rate of return in the upper left, VAMI drawdown in the upper right, Sharpe ratio and Sortino ratio in the lower left, and volatility versus downside volatility in the lower right. Value at risk is being asked for more frequently. In this case, we have in the upper left each of the sectors at 95% confidence interval. In the upper right, the 5 markets with the greatest value at risk. And across the bottom, we have a rolling 10-day value at risk charted against its percent of total equity. Winning trade percent versus holding periods is another frequently requested piece of information. On the left, we have the sectors and markets, and across we have the total orders and contracts, the total gains or losses, how much was made or lost on the average trade, the number of winning trades, the average win, the number of losing trades, the average loss, and the winning trade percent, and at the far right, the average holding period for that specific instrument. And then finally, systems such as this can provide a monthly tear sheet for each investor. In the upper right, we have the investor's returns over time against his selected benchmarks. On the left, we have the typical statistics, the capsule performance, and things like the monthly rate of return distribution. Regardless of how you address the requirements imposed by institutional managed accounts, your operations will have to provide them if you expect to be successful at attracting and retaining those types of assets. So what is the impact of a professional back office that combines a robust operating system, an integrated order management system, and customized transparency? Your firm becomes a better investment. You can offer lower operational risk with increased transparency. You can develop better relationships because you're client-centric. You can manage more assets without more people, more effort, and more errors. You have reduced speed bumps to sales, and you have an institutional-grade infrastructure that is able to address the ever-changing landscape that is alternative investments.